What's going on, guys? It's Early Product News. I want to put this in the beginning because I think this is a very, very important video. This is a video on Johnny 50's channel that didn't get as much traction that I think it should have. I think there's something that slipped through the cracks here that is extremely unique. Now, this video contains 3 channels. It starts off with Picture Perfect. That's the original ordeal. Then Johnny 50 and James Freeman come to that same department to talk to the administration. Now, I did not come to the same conclusion that Johnny and James did about the major that talks to him. I think it could have been a watershed moment. I think there's something very, very important there. But I can show you better than I can tell you.
It doesn't get any simpler.
When you walk away from me, you don't want to talk to me. I'm here for a valid reason. I'm here for a legal reason.
I'm not trying to be.
I
know. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't have to talk to you, ma'am, and I don't want to. I have no, ma'am. I don't.
For a complaint, and you were in there, and you were in there causing a disturbance.
I wasn't causing a disturbance.
You were because they called.
That's not my problem.
Okay. It is now because you're here.
How we doing, sir?
Oh, I've had better days. You?
Hey, what's going on?
Ask her. She thinks she's going to detain me.
Remember that expression. It will become extremely important later.
I'm not going to give it.
Okay.
Am I free to go?
No, not right yet.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Okay, well, I'm trying to figure that out.
I understand that. You have to have reasonable, articulable suspicion. What is her name and badge number?
But I see an alcohol bottle laying right here on the ground, so have you been drinking?
Take it up, fingerprint it. What?
I am asking you a question.
And I'm refusing to answer. What is your name and badge? What is her name and badge number?
Now I'm detaining you because I want to make sure you're not intoxicated in public.
What is your name and badge number?
You haven't been drinking. I want to make sure you haven't been drinking.
Please give me a little space.
Come here. Come here.
I'm creating space.
I'm going to check your eyes to make sure that you haven't been drinking.
No, sir, you're not.
Yes, sir, I am.
No, sir, you're not.
Yes, sir, I am.
No, you're not.
Do me a favor. Keep that right there. I don't care. Keep that right there. See the tip of this pen?
I guarantee Picture Perfect just closed his eyes.
How much you had to drink today? How much have you had to drink today?
I don't drink.
See the tip of this pen? I want to make sure that you're safe to do this.
Safe to do what exactly? You want to find out if he's safe to do what?
I don't consent to field sobriety tests. Especially when... No.
Where you're standing, there's an alcohol bottle?
To be fair, where you were standing, there was an alcohol bottle. Possession is 9/10 the law.
When she stopped me, I was down there.
Whenever I showed up, you were standing right there.
Now, this is a brand new video in reaction to Picture Perfect's video. Our heroes have flown across the country to get to this Oklahoma Sheriff's Department. And who are our heroes? None other than the Ginger Ninja, James Freeman, and Johnny 50 Cent, the gangster of Rodeo Drive. Called Disorderly Product News the B word. First word he ever said to him.
Hey guys, have you been help?
No, not yet.
What can we do for you?
We're looking for Sergeant Book.
Yeah. He is not
charging.
Charge him for
Official misconduct? Possible evidence tampering.
Okay.
Planting.
Guys, I'll tell you that's being handled internally.
Okay,
If you want to speak to the chief or the deputy chief, they're not here at the moment.
Okay. We're looking for it to be handled criminally the way it would with any other citizen, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, 51-93. We want him cited and charged on 51-93 official misconduct for his actions. And so we believe that we brought sufficient evidence to charge him with this crime, and we are seeking...
You brought something with you?
We brought a lot of evidence.
Yeah, you got it with you today?
Yeah, it's video evidence. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And so we're seeking either one of his fellow officers, or if you guys aren't willing to do it, we could call the sheriff's department. If they're not willing to do it, you know, maybe
we're happy to put him under a private person's arrest.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, if you want to speak to Deputy Chief, keep your seat for a minute. You're welcome to sit here all day if you want. Somebody be back with you in just a minute.
Will they really though? Because I mean, someone will be back with us in a minute.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I just.
Yep.
I've heard that before, and 3 hours later. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So just.
Did you guys hear that? When James said, is really somebody going to come out, or is it going to be 3 hours? This lady started laughing, and Captain, Sergeant, Swami, whatever, literal, looked over at her, and you could see the look on his face. He's drowning in the middle of the ocean, and there's not a life preserver in sight.
3 hours later, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So just,
Is he?
I'll be honest with you, you be honest with me, and you know.
Okay.
Is he the highest ranking officer currently on site?
The deputy chief?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the chief's not here?
No, he's not.
Is the chief aware of any of this incidents that took place?
Sure he is.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you can understand where we don't feel a whole level of confidence of you guys investigating yourselves
Internally.
Internally, you see where that with no accountability, no public accountability. You see where that. See that's
No,
you see the look on his
he
face.
can't.
That was
He-
the disconnect between police and society. Everybody.
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't get it.
No, she hasn't, and she doesn't want to be. This is too damn exciting.
What? Complaint form? Your criminal complaint form, right? Okay.
It's a citizen complaint form, yes, sir.
It's a criminal complaint form?
It's a citizen complaint.
Citizens? So is this the same thing that I would fill out if, say, my neighbor punched me in the face? Okay, that's kind of what we need then. Yeah.
So this is Sergeant Literal. He happens to be the sergeant on duty when James and Johnny show up after their plane ride. Now, he is trying to give them a complaint form, but not a criminal complaint form, a department complaint form, tuck in your shirt complaint form, policy. Now, that's a very important point that James is making. I believe he's the one who brought it up first. He says, we're not here to be judge, jury, and executioner. We just want him charged under the law and have him go through due process. What do you guys think? Is this the same gentleman from Picture Perfect Stop? It's got the same build. The guy with the shocked look on his face? Well, let's talk about that. And I told you to remember that. It is Picture Perfect's contention, and when you watch Johnny 5-0's video and Picture Perfect's video, that officer planted that little airline bottle of vodka. And look at that face, where it's at in the exact sequence of events. He's looking at Picture Perfect and the other sheriff behind him. And he's making that face. Why? Could it be because the other sheriff or deputy or whatever his moniker is throwing a little alcohol bottle out of his pocket? And he's on scene, so now he's put him in the middle of it.
It'll be a lot easier.
We found an alcohol bottle down the street there, and so we have reason to believe that you might be drinking.
Yeah.
Would you submit to a field sobriety test? Hey, can we get the sheriff out here?
I'm not sure the sheriff's in right now. Go down to the office. I can help you.
Okay.
I'm Major Jenkins.
Agent Jenkins, I'm James.
James, how are you?
Good. Hey,
Yeah, watch that.
so we are trying to get a police officer with Claremore Police Department charged for a suspected crime that we have evidence of.
Okay.
The Claremore Police don't want to charge him. We're not saying he's guilty, but we have evidence that we believe can go before a jury to convict him of the crime. So all we're asking is that he be charged just like any other human being in a lawful society, so that he can go and plead his case to the jury. The police department said, oh, well, they've investigated themselves. That's a problem, right? Could you imagine if you thought I committed a crime and I had my wife investigate me? It's got to go before a jury. That's the only fair way to do it. So we're looking for the sheriff.
So the normal protocol on that, James, would be that you guys would contact that department, that particular agency.
We have. We've gone that route already.
So, and you filed a formal complaint, I suppose?
That's not actually the route that we need to go. That would be to basically have a mark put on his personal record or his personnel record, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for equal accountability under the law. If we're going to live in a lawful society, we all have to be accountable under the same laws, right?
Well,
do we or no? No?
No, I think that's very important.
Okay, to be accountable under the same laws?
Oh, yes.
Everybody? Okay, well,
Yes.
that's what we're here for.
So is there any reason that the police always wind up investigating themselves with no public oversight?
You know, there's a lot of different reasons, really, why different agencies have different protocol on how they investigate.
Well, no, they
situations.
actually all of them do nationwide, from local, city, state, federal, and what winds up happening is there's a quite a great distrust between society and police of their own accountability as a result.
And
Would you?
besides that, the police are corporations, right? They literally are corporations. At least where the state that I come from, they're set up as corporations. And they're often deputized by the local sheriff. And at least this is where I come from. I don't know about Oklahoma. They're deputized by the sheriff, and then they also have a city council who writes ordinances, and they aren't even lawful legislators. But the point is, they're a corporation, and so their protocols are company policy. What we're talking about is law. We're not looking for company policy for them to be investigated by their company. Sure, they broke company rules, but besides that, they broke our laws, the people's laws. They broke my laws. They broke his laws. And we are trying to charge them under the law.
What do you propose? What do you think would be the correct way to do that?
We just want him charged under. Guys, can you pull the charge up for me again? I think it's 51-93, which is just official misconduct. We believe that he planted evidence on a crime scene.
We have video evidence of
and
that.
so we're not even at. I mean, I don't think he's a flight risk. I don't see any reason to book him into jail, but cite and release and let him go before a jury just like any other man would.
Now, you guys can write in the comments section whether I'm right or wrong, but I believe this major is actually considering this. I believe that James and Johnny have met all the elements to the crime, and he is actually considering this.
We have evidence that substantial evidence that we believe a jury would convict him on. But it's not up to us to say he's guilty. We just want him cited. We want the charges given to him and get his court date and let him go and defend himself in a fair trial. That's what we want.
Fellas, under the due process of the law, would you not check with a particular district attorney's office in that particular jurisdiction?
We would go to the district attorney's office. No. In fact, there's usually a member of the district attorney's office on call 24/7. So when a member of the public gets arrested, the police department calls that district attorney and sees if they're charging the member of the public with the right charges. Do the charges need to be enhanced? Do they need to be lowered? So law enforcement is constantly in contact with the district attorney. They're a team.
So if you had a concern about something like that?
So the case would go to the DA after you charged him, right? You would charge him, you would cite him for it, right? And the case would be forwarded to the DA. I'm not a police officer. I'm not used to doing this. I haven't arrested anyone before. This will be the first person that I arrest if somebody else can't do it for me. So we're asking for some reason they think they respect police authority. They don't realize that we gave them the authority they have, and so we have that same authority. That's how you guys got it, right? Because we gave it to you.
Yes,
the reason that we want one of you guys to do it is because it's dangerous for us to do it.
I want you to know that I don't take that responsibility lightly.
Okay.
I really don't. And that's why, I do feel very obligated to discuss this with you guys.
Well, we appreciate it.
I just wonder, though, if maybe in this situation it would be simply contacting the Attorney General's office, State Attorney General's office.
Okay.
So the major in Oklahoma of the sheriff's department of this county directs them to the Attorney General's office, the Oklahoma Attorney General's office, except there's a department called the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. So if we look at the OSBI's jurisdiction, they can open investigations on the criminal threats to the public, computer crimes, crimes committed on state turnpikes, police chiefs, county sheriffs, district attorneys, Attorney General of Oklahoma, the governor of Oklahoma.
Just so that I can get a better idea of how this kind of works. Like, say you were to cite a citizen, do you call the Attorney General or the DA first, or do you just kind of take the evidence and say, you know what, based on my knowledge of the law, I believe this person committed a crime, I'm going to go ahead and cite him and then forward it to the DA? Or do you call the DA and Attorney General first and say, hey, this is what I think happened, should I cite him or not?
No. In that particular case, as you guys are well aware, we would have to have articulable facts and circumstances to establish probable cause.
Right.
And then
so if we can show that to you,
that would be submitted to the district attorney's office. So do what?
So if we could show you this footage that would give you probable cause and reason to believe that he's committed this crime, would that be enough for you to
Well, I'll tell you, James, in any kind of a situation, if the public feels, that there has been a violation of the law, we have an obligation, law enforcement, to look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in a real way, though, in a violation of the law. And the problem is, like I said, they're trying to look at it from a corporate standpoint.
And we were just at the PD where the deputy chief, Cox, said that they've investigated it and they found no wrongdoing.
Internally.
Right. And like I said, though, that's the corporate investigation.
But there's no public
That's not the
oversight
criminal
here. So,
investigation.
right.
And we want a different agency to go, and so we are that different agency. Like I said, we're not trying to have him hung or crucified. We're trying to have him go get a fair trial by a jury of his peers. Okay. So you're saying I need to go to a DA and find a DA that's
let me do this. Let me determine that and come back.
Okay.
And advise you guys.
All right. Fair enough. Because you need to look at the case and the facts first, right?
No, not necessarily. I mean, what I want to do is based on your inquiry of me. Mm-hmm. You're asking me, what would be the next protocol. Let me determine that, and come back and let you guys know.
But this is but you can see though how when they investigate themselves and they find no wrongdoing, despite public seeing evidence to the contrary.
There's a lot of people upset about this.
But there's a disconnect between police and society as a result.
Right. And that's where the mistrust comes
from. The police don't want that. Society doesn't want that, but there's a disconnect between police and society as a result of this. We've investigated ourselves. We found we did nothing wrong.
You guys have to go watch Johnny 5-0's video because he does a full breakdown of the most important part of this case, and that's that liquor bottle. Because there is video footage of picture-the-picture walking down the sidewalk and no liquor bottle being there. And you saw the face of that young officer. He's looking right at picture-the-picture who's looking at him, but behind him is that officer, and you see his face go like, what the hell? Because if that officer, sergeant, did throw that liquor bottle out, that young officer that would have been looking right at him. And now this major, I feel that he is honestly listening to Johnny and James. And don't get me wrong, Johnny and James are some of the best in the country, if not the best in the country, at conveying a message, at communicating, at swaying people's opinion. So this major didn't make excuses for the officer. Yes, he tried to wiggle out who had jurisdiction, but I saw it there for a moment. He was really, really contemplating and realizing that James and Johnny were right. You could see it. Now, James and Johnny didn't come to that conclusion. They said he was on camera, so he was acting a certain way. Yes, people act a different way on camera, but you have to watch Johnny's video. It's in the description. You have to watch Picture Perfect's videos. He's got a part 1 and a part 2. They're unbelievable. But leave in the comment section what you think happened in this video, what you saw. My name is Disorderly Product News. I want to wish you and yours a very safe and happy 2022. The link to Picture Perfect's channel and his 2 videos on this will be in the description. You need to watch them. Johnny 5-0's full video of this will be in the description. You need to watch it. James Freeman has unbelievable videos. If you're not subscribed, you're probably the only person on planet Earth because he's got like 350,000 subscribers. And before you write it in the comment section, yes, I believe there's only 350,000 people on planet Earth. So, have a great New Year's Day. Watch the bowl games. And have a great 2022. Again, I'm Disorderly Product News. Good night.